everybody and welcome back to Football Manager 2022 with the 0304 Man United save. This is episode 10, and in episode 9, well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer won the Oscar for the biggest dive in Premier League history, but we did secure a 5-0 win over our Roses derby rival Leeds United. Solskjaer bagging a hat-trick for himself, which was absolutely lovely, and it did actually secure us at the top of the table. If you haven't seen that episode, go and click the link in the top right hand corner right now. But yeah, Solskjaer netting a hat-trick and actually doing very well, getting some interest for some other clubs as we approach deadline day. We got a request from Adam Woods to have a look at Ricky Carvalho at Porto, and there he is, looking like a beast of a centre-back actually. A very good signing, say our scouts. Lots of really good stats there: heading, marking, positioning, concentration, aggression, anticipation and bravery, all looking good. So as we head into some club news then, Arsenal are keeping chase with a 4-3 win over Chelsea, 54 points each at the top for us and them. As you can see, that was the same day that we beat Leeds 5-0. We drew Aston Villa in the FA Cup 4th round. It'll be an interesting game over at Villa Park. And then we head into some transfer news because we're getting to the end or close to deadline day. Dion Dublin signed for Aston Villa, which was very odd, according that he played for Wolves and he cost them £150,000. Phil Bardsley joined Aston Villa for £4 million from us. Promising fullback, but we're happy to sell him. Rangers has bought David Jones, pretty cheap to be honest, free transfer. They're signing him and on a Bosman at the end of the year. Alan Tate joined Nottingham Forest permanently. He's had a loan deal there. They've paid £400k to make that permanent. Valencia signed Nicky Butt for £38 million, and he was a good servant to the club, 29 years old. We've moved him on and he does become our new record sale, taken over from Kleberson, which is a better name to have. We made a loan offer for Ashley Young. He turned us down. We signed Nico Kranjčar, the Croatian wonder kid, for £9 million and loaned him back to Dynamo until the end of the season. We then go into the match preview against Arsenal, and it is a close one with the bookies. We're 11-10 favourites to win it, and we should have home advantage, which should give us the edge in a close encounter. Arsene Wenger said that his players enjoy the big occasion and they're going to thrive in this game against Man United. Well, let's just see about that, Arsene. Cristiano Ronaldo trained impeccably, getting a 10 before the game. Quinton Fortune and John O'Shea pushed him close, and all the players actually performed very, very well. Lots of competition at United this season. And Arsenal lined up in a predicted 4-4-2. Patrick Vieira in the middle of midfield. He's also got the most red cards this season with 1. Martin Keown and Sol Campbell lined up at centre-back. Martin Keown's got the most yellow cards with 11. Jens Lehmann in goal, Ashley Cole at left-back. They've got A. Bailey at right-back. I'm not too sure who that is. Perez and Edu on the wings. Lundberg is the other central midfielder. Bergkamp and Henry are going to be lining up front together with 39 goals for Thierry Henry. Absolutely incredible. Heading into the game then, you can see it is a classic Man United v Arsenal game. Look at those lineups, it's incredible. We're in the 4-4-1-1 sort of system. Solskjaer a bit higher on the right hand side. Goal machine Van Nistelrooy leading the line. Arsenal are in their 4-4-2 with their goal machine Henry leading their line next to Bergkamp. Vieira in there going to battle Roy Keane, I'm sure. Out on the right hand side, Bailey drove Arsenal forward, got towards the byline, didn't fancy the cross though, laid it back towards Vieira, who swung it into the box, and Edu's header was easily caught by Barthez. Edu robbed Willy Sagnol as Lundberg picked the ball up into Vieira. Edu carried on his run forward, got the wrong side of Willy Sagnol, squared it to Henry, but his half volley fizzed past the post. A long ball forward was won first by Roy Keane. Giggs picked it up, dinked it over the top. Great first touch from Rude. He fired home 1-0 Man United. 35th goal of the season. And what a first touch this is on his chest. Jens Lehmann had no chance. 1-0 United. Hargreaves picked the ball up and found Scholes. He laid it out towards Willy Sagnol. First time cross, in it went Scholes, free header, but straight at Jens Lehmann. Juan Fran picked the ball up again on the left-hand side, just laid it off to Ryan Giggs and then bombed his way up the wing. Found Juan Fran again on that overlap. He drove towards the byline, but this time didn't swing in across. Laid it back to Giggs, who was totally unmarked, got into the area. A pretty lame right-footed shot is touched behind by Jens Lehmann. So that takes us into half-time, and you can see that our XG is much better than Arsenal's. And we get into the team talk and tell the boys, you know, we're pleased, loads of chances being created, we're playing the better team, keep it going. We do have a slight tactical change though, dropping Solskjaer back and actually moving Hargreaves into the right midfield spot as a wide playmaker, because Solskjaer's on a 6.4, not playing well at all. He is replaced by Andres Iniesta, and we have a quick check. Yes, he can be a playmaker, obviously, it's Andres Iniesta. And then we just before we're going back, we decide to move Scholes into a sort of out-and-out attacking midfielder rather than a second striker, but also then push Ryan Giggs a bit further forward just to make sure we've got some support for Van Nistelrooy. Straight into the second half, and Henry gets the game back underway. Lundberg just kept on keeping the ball with Keogh, and he found Vieira. Vieira put it out towards Bailey on the right-hand side, who just drove past Sagnol. Giggs actually put a tackle in. It fell to Henry, who crossed it in towards the back post, and Willie Sagnol headed it away. No danger. Juan Fran had the ball on the left. He picked out Keane, gave it back to the left back. He then looked to drive to the byline, put in a cross towards the back post. Scholes pulled off his man, but Jens Lehmann with an easy save. Ashley Cole drove down the left-hand side, picked out Lundberg into Edu. He held it up back to Cole, back to Edu, who got into a bit of space, but Willie Sagnol put in a great challenge. Dennis Bergkamp took the resultant corner, and he tried to swing this one in towards the back post, but it was Rio Ferdinand that headed it away. With about 25 minutes to go, we look at making some changes. Gary Neville comes on for Willie Sagnol, and then with 10 minutes to go, we bring on Cristiano Ronaldo to replace Roy Keane and just go into a much more defensive shape. We actually go for a 4-4-1-1, then change our minds and go for a 4-1-4-1 with Paul Scholes playing as our box-to-box and Owen Hargreaves sitting in front of the back four as just a defensive midfielder. Don't do anything but win that ball and sit in front of that back four. And then we get back into the game. Henry turns his man, gets into the byline. It's a wonderful tackle from Owen Hargreaves in that new defensive midfield role. And then Ryan Giggs, with 5 minutes to go, picks up an injury. And we're not too sure what to do, so we just rely on Juan Fran to hold the fort, don't push up as far, sit as a fullback and just hold the position. Van Nistelrooy put Ronaldo through on goal, didn't quite have the pace to get away from the defender, laid it back to Iniesta. He squared it to Hargreaves with a right-footed drive just past the post. And then into the final minute of the game, Henry is released down the right-hand side, has a man inside, ignores him, chips it to the back post, and Edu just pushes Willie Sagnol over. Michael Oliver, the referee, gives a free kick, and that sees us through to a wonderful 1-0 win over Arsenal. As you can see, thoroughly deserved, a much better XG, great performances from Van Nistelrooy, Ferdinand, Wes Brown, Barthez and Owen Hargreaves. We sit top of the table, 3 points clear of Arsenal, and Ryan Giggs is the man that drove us forward. It was complete control for Man United as we brushed the Gunners aside. Goal-friendly Arsenal suffered a 1-0 defeat at a wet evening at Old Trafford. Wenger was disappointed, saying it's just disappointing for the fans and he feels bad for them. He knows how much these games mean to the fans, and it can hurt your pride to lose against such a fierce rival. For some reason, he's got a fairly poor relationship with us. I don't know why. Ryan Giggs is out for 1 to 3 days, so nothing too major. A tight thigh after he was sprinting. I mean, it probably could have stayed on, Ryan. We needed 11 men. The match momentum showed that we were the better team throughout the game. Arsenal threatened a little bit, but really, we probably should have won by more than one. The first half was all us. Arsenal got into it at the beginning of the second half, but then they just sort of petered out. Even with 10 men, they didn't create very much. But you got to remember, we were rejected by Ashley Young, so all in all, it's not an amazing episode.